Welcome in. This is the Bitcoin Crypto Weekly Close, and I am CBG, the Crypto Bull God. Thank you for joining me this Sunday evening. Sorry if I'm not as enthusiastic for this live stream. I hope everyone's been having a better weekend than myself. So, been kind of feeling a little sick the past couple days here. So, actually, shortly after I had tweeted this out that I was going to do the live stream, I debated canceling because I was starting to feel a little like I could just go to bed. So I think this is going to be a quicker stream. We're going to start running through some charts. I think the price action on the weeklies have developed enough that we don't have to wait for the weekly candle closes on a lot of these charts. I can kind of spell out what I'd be looking for and what I see in the charts. So, as always, if you appreciate the comment, it helps me out as a content creator. If you can hit the thumbs up button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Every chart, so when I do these weekly closes, all these charts that we're going to be taking a look at, they are going to be they're all going to be weekly charts. So we're not going to be looking at a daily or a 3-day or a month. Every chart that we're going to be looking at is going to be a weekly view. You know, before we get into the charts, I'm real curious if anyone who has an iPhone runs into this issue. Have you noticed that I don't know if this is just some anomaly with my iPhone, but the sound for notifications, no matter how many times I slide the button all the way down so that it's halfway or less, every single time it eventually goes back up to maximum. So when my alarm goes off in the morning, when someone sends me a text message, it's just like blaring. And I don't know what to do about it because it's constantly resetting on me. So drop a comment if you're running into that annoying issue with an Apple iPhone, because it's really starting to piss me off. So, and especially the mood I'm in right now, not feeling the greatest. So thank you for everybody who's tuning in. We're going to breeze through a couple charts here. This is going to be a little bit of a quicker stream. I'm going to update you on the charts. So again, we have approximately 9 minutes until the close, okay? The weekly candlestick will close at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is 7:51 Eastern Standard Time. But let's take a look at the Bitcoin weekly chart. Now, what's nice to see is, you can see, and I've pointed this out before, we did close below the 200 SMA. We have since regained, and we're holding strong above this 200 SMA. Now, once this weekly candlestick prints, the 200 SMA, it looks like, will probably be around 23,100. So as we continue building bullish momentum up, which is what I'm anticipating, higher highs and higher lows, we just want to make sure that we're not seeing candle body closes go below the 200 SMA. Again, we could have a candle open here and wick below, but then eventually close back up above the 200 SMA, and that's fine because price wicks are an expression of volatility. But we don't want to see candle bodies start to close below the 200 SMA. The other interesting thing to be looking at here is that we're starting to cross green. We're starting to get some bullish momentum here on the MACD, which is good to see. You can see typically when we've seen areas of green here, it's led to stronger reactions within the price, which is good to see. Stochastic RSI is also above 20, which is very bullish. So those are the price indicators to watch for. Let's take a look at, actually I have a couple other Bitcoin charts I want to take a look at here. This chart, as you recall, this is with the Heikin Ashi candles. Okay, these are, if you were here last time, one of the things I pointed out is that you can actually, it's in TradingView, you can actually go up here, instead of doing regular candles, you can click Heikin Ashi. And typically what these do is they're an indicator of trend reversals, momentum to the upside or downside, red being to the downside, green being to the upside, right? And the thing I was pointing out here is every time, for the most part, when we've had the Heikin Ashis turn green around the 200 SMA, we've seen significant price appreciation up. So what I've done is just taken the average of these two returns and said if we appreciate anywhere near what we've seen in the past, we'd be, somewhere around $170,000. But it's good to see on the Heikin Ashi weekly chart, Another green candle is being printed. One more Bitcoin chart. This is one of my favorites. This is looking at the Mayer multiple. It's simply just looking at the price of Bitcoin in relation to the 200 SMA. It's literally just a ratio. That's all it is. You can see this is the actual Mayer multiple. When we've gotten into this green zone here, signified by the orange circles, we've typically seen a trend reversal up, price appreciation up massively to the upside. What this is telling us in layman's terms, the Mayer multiple increasing in value like this out of this green zone, is that the price divided by the 200 SMA is going way up in value. That's all it means. So you can see here, we're bouncing just like we have in the past off this 200 SMA, which is good to see. Now, it's very important to check on the health of Ethereum. So this week's candle, this weekly candle close, let's get off the RSI for a moment. This is a very bullish close for Ethereum, very bullish. What we want to see, you see this strong level of, if you were here last week, I actually spoke to this area of resistance, and I actually flipped it prematurely to green and said, it's a little premature, but I'm going to flip it green, okay? It's very bullish that this weekly candle is going to close above 1,700. Where are we at right now? We're at 1939. That's awesome. So here's what we want to see, okay? And I think this is very realistic to expect if we have a bullish narrative. Price will close right around here. So the weekly candle is going to open right around here. At some point, doesn't have to be this week, it could be next week or the week after, we're going to test this descending line of resistance. Now, we're either going to break through, and we'd like to see this back tested as support and then continue up, or what we could see is we could come up to this descending line of resistance, get rejected, come back down to 1,700, form support, and then continue moving up. So that's what I would look for on the price of Ethereum, but this is looking very, very bullish that we got back above 1,700. Really the key here is to break this descending line of resistance. Once we do that, we could talk about maybe 2,500 and higher areas up here, but let's take baby steps here. This is a great thing to see in Ethereum that we bounced off this $900 level and rallied all the way up above 1,700. Very, very bullish. Let's watch the descending line of resistance. So goes Ethereum, so goes the rest of the altcoins. So you want to see strength in Ethereum. Hey, for everybody joining, hit the thumbs up button. I don't see any comments. Let me know that you're here. I like to see a lot of the regulars here. So, drop a comment in here. I love to see who's able to attend on these weekly live streams. So real quick, before we get off of Ethereum, this is some bearish divergence on the RSI that I've spoken to in the past. Now, one of the nice things to see playing out here in Ethereum is once this weekly candle closes in the next 3 minutes, we will have invalidated this descending line of resistance, and we will have gotten above a key level of either support or resistance in the history of Ethereum's chart here, which is around 42. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to see here. The next thing we want to see is we want to come up and battle this descending line of resistance and then start creating higher highs and higher lows, right? So really on the RSI, what you want to watch for, both of these descending lines of resistance to be broken, and then you want to invalidate these lower highs that were created here. Let's actually switch gears and let's look at... Thank you to everyone who is tuning in. I said at the top of the stream, I apologize if I seem out of it. Been battling something the past couple days, not feeling like myself. So this is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream, but wanted to at least get something out there. So if you appreciate me coming on here, kind of walking through some of these charts, I would appreciate a comment to let me know. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, what's great to see here, you know that I have a video out here if you're subscribed to the channel. It's breaking down. I mean, I've been clear as day saying that once we retested this area and then eventually broke it, which is around 41.3 to 41.6%, I fully anticipate this region being met, right? And it's going to be a lot weaker given this is the fourth time we're now entertaining this area. So I fully anticipate it breaking at some point. Now, as that altcoin dominance begins to really pick up and Bitcoin dominance drops off, in general, okay, not that there's not going to be different movements in between, but in general, I expect altcoins to be running a lot harder than Bitcoin. So just keep an eye on this Bitcoin dominance chart. It's great to see the weekly close come in where it's at, because to me it further validates the bear flag, bear pennant, and descending triangle. Okay, so great to see the weekly close come in as negative as it has been. Look at this MACD. Last time we saw it pick up red like this was way back here when we had a massive run in alts. DXY, I left this on the 2-month just so that you could see that's how I drew the chart pattern here, the W formation that I've spoken to in the past. But let's flip this on a weekly, because as soon as you flip it to a weekly, you're going to be like, hey, you can't draw these lines like this. Doesn't make any sense. Well, I drew it on a 2-month chart. So as you can see here, the DXY is starting to break down. The first level we want to see how it reacts to is around 102. That's what I'm looking for. Past 102 would be the 100 psychological area, but let's see how the DXY behaves with the 102 area. Again, historically, when we have massive breakdowns, okay, massive breakdowns, okay, this one, when the DXY broke down, okay, massive runs took place in crypto and also large runs took place in the stock market. So if this is to kind of bleed down, this should, the odds are in our favor that there will be mass appreciation within the cryptocurrency market. So keep an eye. Looks like we just opened our brand new candlestick here. So keep an eye on the DXY to see how we interact with this 102 area, which I suspect will be being hit within the next couple weeks here. Total cryptocurrency market cap, so this is everything, Bitcoin included. Really, the next big test is around this big red area of resistance here. It's a range. We're going to call it, you know how it's ranges and not a specific line, right? So around, I'm going to say 1.28, 1.2, let's say 1.27 to 1.3 trillion. We want to see what happens when we bounce up against this red area of resistance. Can we get up here, fight this descending line of resistance, and eventually break up and then start battling higher areas to create new all-time highs? Well, that will happen. It's just a matter of time. So that's what you want to keep an eye on, the total market cap. Same sort of story on the total too. So this is everything excluding Bitcoin. Same sort of thing. We have this red area of resistance around 700 billion. So that's going to be our next area. You can see we actually tapped it here this week. This is the next area. We want to get above here, back test it as support and hold it, and we can flip this from red resistance to green support. This is the entire market cap excluding Ethereum and Bitcoin. Same sort of story. Now, we actually flipped this green line, this prior red area of resistance, once we broke below around 425. We've now gotten back above it, so it's support. The next key area on the total 3 would be around 470. We'll say between 470 and 500, okay? That's the next area we want to see how price responds. What we want to do is break this area, get above again, back test, and continue moving up. That's what we want to see. Basic premise. A lot of these Bitcoin pairings, Ethereum is so bullish. The Ethereum Bitcoin pairing is so mega bullish. I see an extremely high potential that Ethereum is going to create a new all-time high in its strength relative to Bitcoin this cycle. And I think that it's very possible that temporarily this cycle, Ethereum will flip Bitcoin. It's not going to be long. It might be a day. It might be 2 days. It might be 3 days. It's not going to last long. It might be a day, and then Bitcoin might get back above, and then 2 days later, Ethereum will flip it again for a day. It's going to be very temporary, but I do see that as a high possibility. Very, very bullish. I drew this on a different time frame. I don't know if it was like a 1 month. Well, forget it. You can see that the line here sort of, actually, maybe I drew this on a weekly, actually. We broke above it here. No, I drew this on a weekly. So no, I did not. No, I did not, because we have candle bodies above here. Did I draw this on a monthly? I want to add credibility to this view just so. Yes, I drew this on a monthly, which is why you can see there's no bodies above it, the black descending line here. But if we flip back to a weekly for a second, because again, we're only focusing on weekly views on this live stream, we're getting very close. We're getting very close to wanting to break out of this descending line of resistance. If we can manage to get above here and break this area here, what that tells me is there's a high probability that we can test up towards our prior all-time high range and potentially create new all-time highs in the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. Of course, one BTC. Let's not look at the price indicators. Let's just check out the chart itself. Oh, this is great to see. This is awesome. We had all these red areas of resistance that we broke below that are now forming a support. Again, the thing I want to stress with One Harmony, despite all the FUD that's going on, despite all the FUD that is going on, I keep saying this, look at the chart. Just look at the chart, okay? The chart looks like, I've used H-bar as a comparison. If you look at this chart, just look at this chart of H-bar for a moment, okay? Now look at the chart of One. Are they not similar? They're not similar. Okay? So remove the FUD, and just focus on the fact that Harmony, and especially the Bitcoin pairing, we're back above this green area of support. I fully anticipate that we're going to begin, especially when altcoins start running, we're going to begin challenging these areas here and potentially create new all-time highs against Bitcoin. Remember, Harmony One was one of the absolute strongest performers in 2021. Don't lose sight of that. I have not given up any hope in that project. I hold a massive amount. H-bar, for right now, we're sort of just consolidating in this range, okay? Still very bullish because we have a low and a higher low up here. We're going to just start testing these prior areas of resistance, and we want to see them flip as support. But these are the sorts of charts. When I flip to a relativity chart like this, when I flip to the dominance chart and I show you a bear flag and a descending triangle, these are the things that leave me feeling convicted, okay? That even though we have some bearish price action, we're not in some massive bear market. We're not. I'm not anticipating Bitcoin going down to 10,000 or 8,000 or 12,000. I have a strong belief at this point that the bottom's in. I'm on record as saying that. My conviction's only gone up with time as a lot of the charts have continued to develop, okay? When I look at the pairing charts and when I look at the dominance chart and when I look at the DXY most likely topping out, it tells me we still have one last final hurrah before there's a massive correction in the market and a true bear market. So hopefully these are some good breadcrumbs for you. Last pairing chart that I wanted to take a look at. This is Digibyte to BTC. You can see there's a falling wedge here. This is actually a 2-month chart. Let me put this on the weekly. So I drew the falling wedge on a 2-month view, so you can see it doesn't look as clean on a weekly view. It's pretty choppy. But the interesting thing, let me actually put this back to a 2-month chart. The interesting thing, if you hold Digibyte, if we draw the technical target for this, okay, this would be the technical target, okay, falling wedge. It really just depends when it breaks out. Let's say it breaks out in July, okay, of next year, almost a year later. Well, that would mean we'd hit somewhere up here, okay? And if you look at the rate of appreciation, what that's telling us is from current levels, Digibyte has a potential to appreciate more than 2,000% relative to Bitcoin, which would be more than a 20x, okay? So, so meaning if you take the returns of Bitcoin and a Digibyte in comparison would be 20x those returns, okay? That's what that means translated in the old layman's terms. And if we actually look at DigiByte on the weekly, you know, again, pattern recognition. I mean, you can just see boom, 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 and I'm expecting boom again, okay? That's, I mean, I can't draw this any cleaner. I hope you appreciate, if you appreciate this chart, please drop a comment, because I think this is one of the more beautiful charts I've put together. So if you appreciate it, drop a comment. What's up, Frankie? Yeah, so right now, here's what I would say about DigiByte. We have an area of resistance, and you can see we wicked up to it around 1.8 cents. Once we break 1.8 cents and this descending line of resistance, okay, once we break that, I think it's pretty clean sailing all the way up until nearly 4 cents, so nearly a 2x return. This thing can move very quick. If you've seen DigiByte move before, it can move very quick. So once we break 1.8 cents, and the descending line of resistance, I think 4 cents could come very, very quickly. Let's take a look at a few other charts. Let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. Yeah, so you can see the weekly close here. It's looking good. It's awesome to see. It's awesome to see the weekly candle so high above the 200 SMA. That's what you want to see. And as you can see, we're at about, like I said earlier, 23,100 on the 200 SMA, 23,057. Let's go to Ethereum. Okay, we already spoke to this one. Harmony One. So Harmony One, haven't spoken to this yet. You can see there's an ascending line of support that we've bounced off of, nearly bounced off of here. There's a few areas of resistance that we want to see battle tested here in the shorter term, and we're going to want to see how price responds. Okay, there is 4 cents, 5.3, 7 cents, and 9.5 cents. Okay, so this whole cluster, this clusterfuck right here, this is a big zone of resistance. Okay, we're not going to see a big Jesus candle go way up. All right, we're gonna have to be patient. Price is going to come up here, and it's going to get a little choppy to want to break up here. Once we get back above 9.5 cents, I'm going to begin to start feeling a lot more bullish, because the odds are in our favor to come up and start back testing this descending line of resistance. And then for me, once I see some volume pick up and battle that area of the descending line of resistance, I know it's just a matter of time. I just know it's a matter of time until we break 40 cents and new all-time highs are coming. So remain patient on this one. I still feel extremely convicted that we have a lot higher price value to see in this one until going into next year. Same thing with HBAR. I really don't see many areas of resistance until about major areas, until around 15 cents. So price is just sort of hanging out here in its doll, right? Real boring, right? When it starts to pick up and we break this descending line of resistance, watch out, because this 15 to 21 cent area, it's going to be interesting to see how price responds to there initially. Once we get back above, similar to what I was saying over here on Harmony One with the 9.5 cent area, for HBAR, once we get back above 21 to 21.5 cents and we hold it with candle bodies with a bounce or two off of here, I'm starting to get pretty fucking mega bullish that we're going to take out these other 3 areas of resistance between 36 and 58 cents, and we're on our way to new all-time highs. So things are looking very good here. Mana. I mean, what can you say about Mana? It's been an incredible performer if you've held it. I remember I was tweeting out, for a while about Mana, buying it at like insane price levels when we had that March dip. Was it the March dip or was it the dip down here? Might have been in June of 21. I was tweeting about it a lot, relentlessly, just buying Mana. But anyway, this is one of the absolute most beautiful charts that I have charted on TradingView. We have this key area of resistance around $1.10. Once we break it, this is the golden zone that I'm targeting in the short term between $1.18 and $1.46 that I think it'll hit. The next 2 key areas of resistance are $2 to $2.12. Okay, but again, you have touch, and touches all along here. So this ascending line of support is holding. It's a very beautiful chart. DigiBulls, we already talked about DigiByte. Gala. So I am on record as saying that my biggest short-term swing trade play is Gala. I'm really targeting, my main target is right in between the 13 to like 10 cent area, but there's a whole nother pocket that I'm going to leave some on the table if we get a really huge bounce that could take it as high as around 18 and a half cents, in between 18 and a half cents and 13 cents. This is a smaller market cap. This thing can move, okay? So there's all this resistance. There's the descending line of resistance in gray that you see. There's all these red areas of resistance. If we clear 13 cents, I see a clear stairway to heaven towards 18 to 19 cents. So keep an eye on Gala. Again, it's my largest shorter-term swing trade play. I was actually reading about the project too. I took sort of an interest in it. I just took a position because of the trade setup. And again, any trading that I do is with a much smaller percentage of my portfolio. For me, that's what works for me. I'm not arrogant. I'm very humble. The market has humbled me many times over. So I think it's the smartest and wisest thing to use my technical analysis skills to buy in at very good price levels, but then just hold it for the longer term versus trying to outsmart the market and day trade or do swing trade plays every couple days or a week. I don't do that. So most of my position are longer term holds, but I do hold a smaller portion of my portfolio that I do like to kind of have more fun with and do swing trade plays. So Gala is my largest. Hey, Brendan, good to see you on here. I was waiting to see some people who I'm familiar with, but very happy to have everybody who is new as well. So hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you appreciate the content, and drop a comment. Yeah, I can tell I'm definitely not with it this evening. So hopefully CBG is rested up and feels good for the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour, which will be either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm thinking I want to make sure that I'm 100% recouped for that, so probably Thursday. But stay tuned. I'll notify you. If you're not following me on Twitter, by the way, Crypto Bull God. I'm at Crypto Bull God. That's my Twitter handle. I'm also on Instagram. I do some gym motivational stuff on there. I'm at Crypto Bull God, and I am on TradingView, although I haven't done much on there at Crypto Bull God. Let's take a quick look at the graph. These descending lines of resistance have flipped from red to green. What's happening is we're flipping up, flipping up, flipping up. We want to see this area right there, this green descending line of resistance. We want to see it hold. And then what we want to do, I also have a position in this as well, full disclosure. This is an area of resistance right here between 17 to 25 cents. I then have another golden pocket. It looks like between 30 to 35 cents. Once 35 cents is cleared, not a lot of resistance until 52 to 55 cents. And again, this thing has dropped a lot in its standings within the rankings for cryptocurrency projects. So it has a smaller market cap, and this does have the potential to move. So I would keep an eye on the graph. Any other charts? Ren. I don't have a lot to say here. Typically, this is a very bearish candle. Typically, it signals the start of a trend reversal, okay? When you have price, here's the story behind this candlestick. When you have price that opens here, it goes all the way up here, but there's sell side pressure to drive it all the way down and it actually closes below where it opened. That's mega bearish. But the thing with these small altcoins, okay, Ren as an example, is I wouldn't put a lot of weight on that. The only way I see this thing selling off hard is if the rest of the market sells off hard. I think this thing has already bottomed. So I personally think at some point soon we're going to be testing this area of resistance here, which we already technically did. And then before you know it, we're going to be up here in this 40-cent range because the 50 SMA too on the weekly is starting to move down here. There's going to be additional area of price confluence once that moving average gets down there. I think we'll be hitting, as long as the market continues moving, I could see Ren making a move all the way up into this 40-cent area, possibly 60 cents before you know it. All right, let's take a look at a few more charts. And then, like I said, I'm going to be signing off early based on how I feel, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. Let's take a look at Link. Several gray areas. I mean, I have all these, look at all these areas of resistance I have drawn out. I mean, I have $11.48, $13.70, $15.50, $18.19, $19.30, okay? So we have all these areas of resistance, and then we have all these descending areas of resistance. So Link has quite a way to go before it starts to really, it has a lot of headwinds. It has a lot of headwinds. We have to clear all this bullshit in here. So once Chainlink gets up into like the $20 area, once it gets up into the $20 area, you can start to feel much more convicted that most likely we'll be seeing a break towards the all-time highs relatively soon. Uniswap, I love this chart. We bounced all the way off. Who the hell got Unilink when we corrected here at $3.30? Drop a comment if you got Unilink at $3.30 when we corrected, or just $4 if you got it at $4. I'm a little jelly. I didn't pick up any at $4. I'm a little jelly. Anyway, you can see the resistance, right? So we're gonna entertain this right here, and I'm really excited to see this flip once we flip it and flip a support, and then battle test the 13 to 14 area. Once we flip $14 and we can turn this bad boy into green, okay, and we have candle bodies that stay above there, that's when you want to start getting really bullish on Uniswap, and you know it's just a matter of time until it's just going to continue making movements up towards the prior all-time high at 48. Two more charts. Shiba Inu was making some noise, I think today or yesterday. Was it today? Yeah, it was today. So really, really bullish. You can see that what Sheep did, yeah, it's funny, I had considered picking up some and then never did. You can see there's only so many projects you can own, right? So we have broken this area of downtrending resistance that is very bullish. Now, as I spoke to in the last live stream, we have a zone right here. Okay, we have a zone right in here. I don't know how many, 0.40 and then 2.1 to 2.7. Okay, so this is going to be our next area of resistance. And oh, Sheep's not on my watch list. I thought it was. Doge is on there. I'll have to add it. I'm surprised I didn't put it on there. So this is really the next area to watch for. You can see once we get into that zone, once we start bouncing around in that zone, we're going to move up. You know, we still will be making like a 50% move, and then we'll more than likely ping pong in here for a little bit before we start to really break out. So keep an eye on Shiba Inu. It's definitely been making some moves. The last chart that I had prepared, I'll take one question, Trendy. Thank you for the question. I'll see if I have an Atom chart. I'll take a quick look at it for you. I was trying to get off early because I'm not feeling the best. So Matic, there's a major area of resistance right at $1.05. You can see we're right up here. Look at this. We have an ascending line of support. And this is the area that we want to see break, which I feel extremely confident it's going to break soon. So once we break above here and we flip this into green and we back test it, you know, we have candle bodies that remain above there. Price wicks can go below it. We don't care about price wicks. There's volatility. But as long as the candle bodies stay above $1.05, really, and I really want you to think about this for a second. Once we clear TradingView. Sometimes I love TradingView. I always love TradingView. Once we clear $1.05, okay, the next major area of resistance that I see is not till $1.74. And for those of you who can't do quick math, I can just like punch numbers out in my head. Okay? That is a 65% return. So if you, let's just say let's say you wanted to enter a position in Matic, okay? Here's a smart way that you could, think about doing it. You could put 1/3 of the position that you want to put into Matic now, just buy it right now, just do a market buy. You could save 1/3 to see if we bounce off of this support here. If that happens, then you enter your next third of the position. You keep your last third, and once we break $1.05, you don't. Well, you can set orders. I don't know if you can do that in Coinbase Pro. You can do that on. I think you can do that on Interactive Brokers. I haven't used it forever. Basically, once it passes a certain price point, once it back tests it, you want to fill it. But anyway, once we break the 105 area, don't get overly enthusiastic and buy up in this area in here. Wait for us to back test somewhere around $1.05 and then buy in, maybe $1.07. It's one of the things I learned in my trading class that I took, or trading school that I went to school for, is let's say that you identify $1.05 as your major area of resistance. Now, once price flips above it and then back tests it as support, okay, this red area, the first thing we do is we flip it to green because now it's support, okay? And let's say that once we've gotten above this area, we're waiting for it to come down here, right? Well, we don't set up a limit buy order. We don't set a limit buy order for $1.05, okay? That's actually the dumbest thing you can do, okay? Why the hell isn't this working? It's actually the dumbest thing that you can do. What you want to do is you want to set up a limit buy at like $1.06 or $1.07 or even $1.08 if you want to be conservative. You want to get ahead of other orders that are buying in at the same area. It's the same thing as a moving average. If you were looking at Bitcoin, okay, and you felt it would bounce off of a moving average, you don't set a limit buy at the moving average. You set it a little bit above the moving average. We're at 23.57, so if I think Bitcoin's going to bounce down to the 200 SMA, I'm setting my buy order up at like 23.157. That's what I would do, okay? So just something to keep in mind. So that's the last chart I had, and I know there was one chart I was going to quick take a look at from my buddy here who had a question on it. All right, Trendy419, thank you for the question. So I must have looked at this before, right? I think somebody asked a question on this before. So we still have this area of resistance here. I don't think much is going to change flipping this to a weekly. I think it's the same story. Yeah, so what I would watch for, looks like there's another area of resistance right there. This bit of price confluence right here. But let's not mess up the chart. So, why I have this orange. So there's a red area of resistance right here. We can see around $12.45. You can see this nice ascending line of support, okay, which is great to see. I would actually draw it more like, it was such a volatile wick, I'd probably draw it more like, as long as it doesn't go through candle bodies, you're good. I just don't want to be as aggressive with the trend line. Something like that. That looks good. You got touches on most of the candles, and it's not, this is a really volatile wick down here, so I wouldn't want to start there. So anyway, Trendy, what I would look for is once we break $12.45, $12.50, you want to see how price action responds. You want to see volume come in. You want to see candle bodies that respect the $12.50 area. We don't want to close back below here, okay? So once we get up here, we can wick below here, but we want all our candle bodies up here. Once that happens, okay, we can feel confident that we will start to entertain the price level between $17 and $21, okay? Now, just to put things in perspective, once again, if you're not good with quick math, what that means is from a price level of about $12.40, it's about 40% move to the upside to 17 and about a 70% move to the upside to 21. So that's all I had prepared today. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. I hope to have a little bit more energy for the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour later in the week. Everybody rest up, get some sleep tonight, get a good start to the week. I'll try to get out there on Twitter, get some more charts out there. Follow me at Crypto Bull God. So until next time, spread awareness and carry the education forward. Thank you, everybody.